Hi everyone, welcome to the course of understanding OpenClaw AI agents and developing agentic AI workflows. So let's get started. In order to understand what OpenClaw is, we need to first analyze what this OpenClaw hype is all about. So, OpenClaw is a powerful self-hosted gateway that bridges multiple messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, Telegram, and many other channels. So, think of an OpenClaw like a central nervous system for your AI powered assistant. It's a single gateway that processes multiple AI agents and orchestrate different AI agents togetherly and connect them with different channels. So OpenClaw architecture has some key components where it includes gateway, channels, AI agents, tools, memory, and we're going to cover this in detail in this tutorial. So let's get started. So OpenClaw is an AI agent gateway and an orchestration platform, and it's an multi-channel gateway for AI agents that runs on any operating system. Whether you have a Macintosh, you have a Linux, you have Windows operating system, OpenClaw will run everywhere. So it allows developers and gives the power to the users to create a personal AI assistant that can be accessed from various messaging platforms. So you have to just think of it as an API gateway plus a brain for the AI automation. So what OpenClaw can do for us is like it can build and manage AI agents, integrate multiple models, open source models uh, like Olama, open source models. You can integrate intelligent um, large language models using the APIs of Anthropic, um, OpenAI, Google Gemini models, and it has a bunch of availability for different AI models. So it can create a scalable AI powered applications. So OpenClaw is built around three core components. The first component is the gateway, the second one is the agents, and the third one is the channels. So the key feature of OpenClaw is the gateway. So the flow starts with the central brain that is called as a gateway, where uh, think of it as a central brain which routes user request and validates, authenticates, and orchestrates the agent selection based on the user request to which agent to send the request to. So it works as a central brain and an AI orchestrator that is very intelligent, which analyzes everything on its own. So the gateway is organized around different layers, and every layer has its own importance and working. Then the next part comes, which is really important and a cool thing of OpenClaw, that OpenClaw has the execution layer known as the AI agentic layer, where the agents have the brain behind it, which is known as the LLM, the large language model, and these agents can automate your workflows, execute any task, control your machine and your files, edit them, read them, delete them, read your calendar, your emails, and this is what an AI agent do for you in the OpenClaw. So it's very interesting, and it's a very great topic these days, and a big hype about OpenClaw, and every developer should learn about OpenClaw and execute them, install them, and play around with these AI agent workflows. Then the third, last but the least, a concept comes which is known as the channels. So channels are basically the interface layer where uh, different agents interact with each other through a proper channel, which is known as a channel, like an interface layer to where the agents have to communicate with each other through like WhatsApp, Telegram, Slack, or Discord. So this is what the third part covers up, known as the channels. So coming towards the architecture, as we have discussed already, it has the channels, gateway, agents, and then tools for the LLMs. So you might have heard about uh, function calling, tool calling, MCP, and many different right tools to connect with your AI agents. So tools are not just a very difficult thing to understand. Tools are something that you connect with your AI agent. That is like calling a tool for connecting your Google Drive, your Gmail, your MCP local server. You can connect your local database, your emails, and many more. So this is what these tools gives the leverage to these large language models to connect with different third-party sources. Then the gateway, let's discuss the gateway in more detail. So I also have an image prepared for understanding the gateway. So let's bring this over here and understand how the gateway simply works. So a gateway is something like an AI orchestrator, a brain where it routes different requests to different tools like AI agents, CLI, web control, iOS nodes. So it has different mechanism of nodes. So every node has its own responsibility and functionality. So the core responsibility of gateway is to request routing, identifies the intent and selects the right agent, authentication, validation, load balancing to basically distribute traffic across different agents, logging and monitoring of these requests to see and analyze in case of failures, in case of errors. So the gateway makes sure that there's a proper validation and logging mechanism behind every AI agent. So how the gateway actually works? So it's very simple. It is based on six things. One is receive, second identify, select, forward, collect, and return. So the gateway acts as an intelligent traffic controller where it receives a request from a different channel like from WhatsApp, Telegram. Then it identifies the intent and the context of different uh, sentences. Like for example, I send a sentence of I want to send 10 emails to a AI to a email to a marketing company, for example. So this sentence, the intent is going to be understood from through the gateway, and then it will be passed to a AI agent. So then it selects the appropriate agent. Like for example, to select the email marketing agent, or the Slack marketing agent, the Telegram marketing agent. So it will request and route the request to the right agent. So it forwards the request and collects and return different results from the users. So then we have the agentic part where agents are reusable, different workers that execute specific tasks using LLMs, API calls, and business logic which you have written. So these can be like chat agents, task automation agents, data processing agents, domain specific agents, RAG based agents, custom MCP based agents, where they can execute and do every task for you automatically. So like what agents can do, as I've already discussed, external APIs, they call APIs multi-step workflows, LLM reasoning, and modular, and these are very reusable agents for building the blocks and deciding uh, what manual process is to automate through the agent. So as I have been recalling this word channels again and again. So channels are the entry points where user input is captured and it is forwarded to the gateway, and it renders all the process through a unified interface contact. Like channels can be Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, and Slack, and these channels are connected through like the WebSockets, using HTTP request, using REST APIs, and many more. So coming towards the conclusion of OpenClaw, so the takeaways of OpenClaw open source project is that uh, it has the three components: the gateway, agents, and the channels. And last but not least, the main important part about OpenClaw is that you can create awesome AI workflows. You can automate your manual process through AI automation. Third, you can create your own custom based AI agents, doing the prompt engineering and fine tuning them on your own specific niche, and use state of the art available large language models on the internet and integrate those large language models in your AI agents in their brain, and use the leverage and power of long term and short term memory so that these agents can memorize the context, the conversation. So next day when you wake up and you open your OpenClaw instance, so it will remember every context based on the previous day. So this is how this intelligent AI workflow works. I hope you will play around with this OpenClaw in the next upcoming videos, where we'll be installing OpenClaw on our instance and playing around with these OpenClaw AI agents using proper channels like Telegram, Slack, and Discord. Thank you very much.